Alright, hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? It's
Us.
and we are back with another reaction. I think the last video we put out was the skit video.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, it'll be like up somewhere over here. So go check out that thing. It's time for another reaction. Today, we have something a little heavy, like insanely heavy. We are doing Hesitation Wounds from End's new album. From End's new album. Alright, so this album just came out, I think yesterday, and we listened through it, and it is insane. Like, it is like up there with Loathe. We didn't listen to Hesitation Wounds because we had predetermined that we were going to react to that first, and so that's what we have now. You got him? Alright, so without further ado or further talkingness, we shall get into this. Hopefully we don't have a ton of interruptions like we did in the Ghost Inside reaction. Alright, so in 3, 2, 1, go.
God cares for you. Are you going through a hard time? God cares for you. And so do we.
What the heck? Come on. Come on. I'm just waiting for him to bring it back in. Come on. Yes.
God cares for you.
What the heck? fading out. Yeah.
I noticed that you seem a good bit calmer today, more relaxed than you were last week when you first came in the hospital. Have you been receiving some kind of medication?
My God.
Goodness.
That was I don't know what to say about that. It literally was just absolute metal.
That was really hard hitting.
That was heavy
That
as
hit
heck.
hard. It was heavy.
That was probably it was heavier than it was heavier than New Faces or heavy as the head from Lowe's that we reacted to.
It's heavier than
It's-
most of the
it's-
stuff on Lowe's.
This is probably the
Okay.
heaviest song that we've reacted to. Diamonds to Dust, we can say that was heavy, but I mean it was deathcore. Deathcore is supposed to be heavy. This is like a different kind of heavy. This and Loathe, they've been like putting out this sound that is just a new kind of heavy. That's just chaotic and just absolutely beautiful. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I did
Guitar
not.
work was awesome.
I did not expect that.
Putney
Putney. Yeah.
knows how to produce some awesome sound
Yeah.
guitar. He knows what he's doing.
All right. So now for thoughts time, where we discuss what we thought about it from a musician's point of view. I thought it was amazing. This album and Loath's new album sound quite similar, but different at the same time. I Let It In is probably the closest in comparison to what I've heard. And it's just stinking insane what just people are doing in the metal community and the scene right now. Like, you've got bands like Loathe, you've got bands like End, you've got bands like Sleep Token, I've heard. Just revolutionizing the metal community and the metal scene, and it's just stinking amazing what people are doing. They're experimenting with tone that, like, alright, so you know how it said I hoped we didn't have any interruptions. That was an interruption. So anyway, back to what I was saying. You just have all these people just coming in and experimenting with just tones and tunings that I've never heard before. This particular sound was just chaotic and was just its wall of sound. The guitar blended so well into the chaos that I couldn't really pick it apart. I just could tell that the riffage and just it was like
Filthy.
you had these notes and this melody, which was the riff, kind of leading this wall of sound in pitch and tone, and you would hear those different little notes and be like, okay, there's the guitar, but it was just like this faint feeling of melody that drove the guitar, and it was just like this wall of sound that hit you just really hard. From what we've reacted to, I've said quite a few times that, oh my gosh, it's like a wall of sound, but honestly there are quite a few different types of walls, and this is like just a completely different type and of its own, just like this chaotic wall of sound that you can't really pick apart things, as opposed to like melodic walls of sound like Invent Animate with all the ambience and stuff. So that was another interruption for you there, folks. So anyway, what I was saying, but this was just like chaotic, and it definitely had a lot of bass and a lot of low end, and that also affects just the wall of sound and how you hear it. Tone wise and mix wise, it was stinking amazing. It really reminded me of Loathe. The only difference I find is that Loathe has a bit more structure and a bit more melody and is a little bit more tight guitar wise. Like you can hear the individual instruments, as opposed to this just all of it mixing in together.
Style too.
Yeah.
This is more like
the
hardcore,
riffs are much more hardcore.
simpler.
Whereas opposed to like
Loathe.
Loathe is more nu metal groove. This was almost kind of had a black metal element to it.
Well, yeah, the other songs
Yeah.
have a lot of the black metal type riff elements
Uh-huh.
to it, but this had a lot more of the hardcore, more just straight hardcore. Like it reminds me of bands like Deathbreaker and Nothing Left. Especially Nothing Left. It's a lot like that.
Just a little bit faster.
Yeah. Bands like Vane and Jesus Piece.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I've heard people say that Vane is kind of, I hear them mentioned with End a lot. Guitar work, it was really, really, really good. The riffs really held the song. It wasn't like you hear the guitar playing this riff and then you hear everything else. The song itself, all of the instrumentation revolved around this riff and kind of flowed with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Will Putney is the main writer when it comes to riffs and stuff, but he's just a genius. From the stuff I've heard from Fit for an Autopsy and stuff like that, the guitar, he knows how to write some guitar, and he's just really good at producing stuff and coming up with really great stuff. It's genius.
Tone-wise, I thought it reminded me of Loathe, effect-wise, tone-wise, but it was a lot more blended in. It wasn't as tight. You could hear like the guitar itself, but you couldn't hear the individual notes playing in a chord.
Yeah, because you have bands like Periphery who, when you hear them, when they're playing a chord, it's like you can hear each individual note within that chord. This was just like, all you heard was the low end of the chord.
Yeah, I'd give it A rating.
I'd give it an A+.
A+ rating.
A+ right there.
Just because it was stinking amazing. The tone, the mixing, all
the
of it.
bass was there somewhere. Wherever it was.
No, honestly,
it was
heard a lot of bass.
There was so
in
much
this.
low end.
Well,
in this song.
especially towards the end, a couple measures into the breakdown, you could definitely hear the bass playing the riff apart from the rest of the song. I was like, hey, look, I can hear the bass now. And it had a really nice tone. I wonder what kind of bass they play and what tuning it was in, because...
Well, the thing is, same with Vane. The thing about Vane is they play in drop C, and most people who are into hardcore think that's not very
that's
low
not
tuning.
really
But
low.
It's not... with bands like this, it's not the tuning that gives them their heaviness. It's the way they write their riffs, the way it goes. This is really chaotic, but when I hear it, it could be in drop A sharp, it could be in drop C, it could be in anything, really. Because just the way everything blends in, there's no telling what tuning it is, because it's just so chaotic.
Drum-wise...
Drums were...
oh my gosh. Drums were all over the place. And also not just the drum work and the drum playing. I thought they mixed and recorded the drums really nice. The snare had a really reverberating tone, and it was just really mixed nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like really, really tight and really, really programmed. The sound you get in modern metalcore, it sounded like live drums.
It's weird because the drum work for this band sounds like Counterparts and stuff like that, like very fast.
Yeah.
But the guitar work isn't as technical. It's like they're mixing that fast, really technical drum work with the more simple,
and that's almost
riffs.
I guess that's how the effect is made. They're playing blast beats like all through the song.
And not necessarily blast beats. They do a lot of the galloping.
Yeah.
In a lot of the other songs too, it's just
and just really fast double bass, and you've got this groovy kind of simpler riff going, and
chuggy dissonant chord stuff.
I heard a lot of dissonance.
And vocal wise, it was really good.
Oh my gosh!
What's crazy is the vocals sound different from how it was when he was in Counterparts.
Is it the vocalist?
It's the old vocalist of Counterparts. It sounds dirtier than from when he was in Counterparts. It's not as clean. it's like there's a lot of low end to it.
And also that's a product of mixing and recording and just different effects. Loathe uses that kind of thing too, where they sounds like it's in a box. Like,
if you recorded your vocals with your head in a cardboard box, that's basically how it sounds. It's not bad.
And also layering was insane. It had like 3 different voices going, and like I love that type of layering when it comes to vocals. When it's like they put the one voice, just kind of triple it up, and
but that's where I started thinking of Nothing Left, because they do that same distorted vocals.
It's very heavy and very like black metal.
Yeah. A lot of the other songs though are like, it seems like it's just straight up black metal. This had that hardcore element and mixed in the really chaoticness. This whole album is just
it's
heavy.
Insane.
It's insane. It's
honestly
crazy.
my favorite album of yesterday.
There was a lot of new music that came out yesterday. I haven't listened to a lot, but this is definitely the best. It doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I had only listened to the first song yesterday, and I already could tell that it was my absolute favorite. It's just an insane song, an insane band. I haven't listened to their EP at all yet. I was meaning to, and then I saw that they released the album, so I was like, hey, let's go listen to the album. Yeah, it's insane. I really, really hope that this band gets big, because they really deserve it.
Well, they're already hitting a lot of mechanisms. Because,
exactly.
I mean, it's ex-counterparts. Will Putney is doing guitar. It has other... everyone else in the band is from bands that are already real good. So, I mean, they're taking off already. There's no doubt they're taking off.
Yeah. It's the super group that the world didn't know it needed, but it did. I'm really excited to see what the band has in store for the future. So yeah.
Yeah. For the sake of the channel, there is one explicit song on the album. The rest is completely king. It's a really good album to listen to. Their EP has, I want to say, 4 explicit tracks, 2 clean tracks. Still very, very valuable to listen to. It's yeah.
So yeah, for this channel, we're gonna start doing something at the end of the videos, that just a kind of parental guide, so to speak, just in order to know what bands have explicit music, what bands are safe. I'm gonna start looking at lyrics a little more and explaining whether a band has good lyrics or bad lyrics, like content-wise. Also, music videos, stuff like that. This song, we were going to react to the music video as well, but I asked some people, and one of them said it was a little questionable. It has a person stabbing themselves. That's what they said. And so, yeah, if you don't like violence or anything like that, don't watch the music video. I highly suggest listening to the song itself, though. It is stinking amazing. Clean lyrics.
That was another interruption. Sorry.
Right at the tail end. We were about to finish it, and
really
then they
about
walked
to cut
in.
it.
All right, so yeah, I guess that's the end.
Yeah.
I have a little remote now, so I can turn off the camera from the remote.
It's not my job anymore.
Yeah, we're replacing him with a machine. All right then, bye. Ballin', it worked. Only on the second try though. Coco, you have your job back.